Welcome, my faithful subjects. In this video, you will witness the full power of the Bannerlord modding community. Start the video, Commander. A little while ago, I asked you guys which Star Wars trilogy you favored or liked the most. And to be honest, seeing the results of that poll, it was a
surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
I don't know why, but I always figured the original trilogy to be the more outspoken favorite. But I guess over the years, people have learned to appreciate the prequels more and more for what they are and for what they try to achieve. Naturally, I can't say the results of this poll determine the general opinion of the entire Star Wars community, but it's just pretty neat to see the prequels doing so well though. I'm also guessing the sequel trilogy had a bit of an effect in terms of people appreciating what the prequels tried to do. For me, the prequels were the movies I grew up with. Having been born in the mid-90s, I understood them to be really important for the world building, actually introducing us to a significant amount of lore, not just about the Jedi, but the Sith and the galaxy, politics, and so on. And to be honest, I could go into these movies and highlight all the things that were executed rather well and the things that weren't done properly. But that is not what we are here for. I do think most people, when the prequels released, especially the first two, most people were a bit disappointed at the time. But, that having said, what we're here for is the Clone Wars. Now the Clone Wars is, at least in my opinion, some of the best Star Wars out there, and while we only see the start of this conflict in episode 2 and the end of it in episode 3, the mention of this conflict dates back to episode 4, released in 1977.
You fought in the Clone Wars?
I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father.
Now, even though we only saw the start and end of the conflict in the movies, the conflict did get its own animated series. It started in 2003, consisted of 25 episodes for a duration of 3 seasons, up until March 2005. This series was so successful that it won multiple awards, and it led to the CGI series The Clone Wars in 2008. One of the main reasons I think this conflict is so liked is because of our favorite characters, among which Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, being at the center of all these stories being told. The Clone Wars series shows us epic battles between the Republic and the Separatists, with clone troopers fighting alongside the Jedi against the droid armies. Whilst at the surface it being a very simple good versus evil, in reality this conflict was fought with one man in control of it all, allowing it to last for several years to stretch thin and weaken his true enemies. Again, I could go on about this amazing series, and well, hey, let me know if you ever want me to talk about this show. As I mentioned, I'm in the process of starting my own podcast, discussing movies with friends and other YouTubers, so it could be added to the list. But we're gathered here today to discuss the Separatist Crisis mod. Now that most of you voted for the prequel trilogy being your favorite, this upcoming Bannerlord mod should be right up your alley. The developers aim to recreate the Star Wars universe within Bannerlord. Your story begins with the first battle of Geonosis. This is where the first clash between the Galactic Republic and the Separatist Alliance took place, and which marked the beginning of the bloody conflict we now know as the Clone Wars. As Mount & Blade offers the players a lot of freedom in exploring their world, the developers of Separatist Crisis will be capitalizing on this, and as such you will be able to do whatever you want. This means a fully explorable galaxy with 100 planets, complete with secrets and Easter eggs. There will be new custom factions, which includes the two main ones, being the Galactic Republic and the Separatist Alliance. But in addition, there is also the new Mandalorians faction, Death Watch and the Hot Cartel. The siege mechanics will be revamped in order for you to use Star Wars vehicles, and a custom force ability system will allow you to use dark, grey and light side abilities. I also saw in their list of planned features the mention of custom player owned factions, so I think you will be able to start your own faction as you do with starting your own kingdom in native Bannerlord, and your faction can be based on an existing faction. for example the Galactic Republic, and I assume you will be able to recruit clones then on your planets. But, and this is where it gets exciting, you could also rebuild the Old Republic, or build a Sith Empire. How cool is that? Now looking into the Discord server, they mentioned there are several playable teaser projects out there, released throughout 2021-2022. The more recent chapter of Separatist Crisis being the equipment module players can download on Nexus. I noticed in one of the developer blogs on ModDB in 2021 that they were working on what they were calling back then the equipment teaser. They explained that they intended for this to be a playable mod that can sit on top of vanilla Bannerlord, meaning that you will be able to use whatever weapons and outfits the team will have completed by that time as real functioning items. So for example, cleaving battalions with vibroblades and lightsabers. And back in December 2022, we got news of the equipment module, so I assume that it's what they were talking about. This recent update allows you to have some fun testing things out, whilst the developers are still balancing, fixing issues and teasing us with the release of the main module sometime in the very near future. Now whenever this is not clear yet, but I know I'll be anxiously waiting for its arrival. Now the work the developers have put into it is just insane, and I keep saying this for each Bannerlord modding project I follow or discover, but it's true. These can be their own games really, just stunning and beautiful work, and I hope you are all just as eager and excited as I am to delve into this project. And yeah, let me know if you're interested in an additional update video on when the mod is fully released. You can do that by leaving a comment down below or simply liking this video. That should do. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.